In Missouri, there's SIS and there's SES.
What's the difference?
SIS is just simply a non-conviction. So if I got an SIS...
Suspended imposition of sentence versus a suspended execution of sentence.
Correct.
So an SIS is a non-conviction. I interrupted you. Please continue.
You're all right. SIS would be a non-conviction. So if I get probation and I'm successful, I get off probation. I've not been convicted. Did I plead guilty? Yes, but I'm not convicted. So if you got an SIS on a felony and you walk down the probation, you have not lost your gun holding rights. You have not lost your voting rights. In SES, it comes with what they call a backup. You plead guilty, you're convicted, and you're actually sentenced to jail or prison time. And that's on the line during your probation. So if you screw up probation bad, they can execute the sentence. And Illinois has very similar laws. So usually for a first-time DWI, if you didn't commit an assault or hurt anybody or do anything outrageous, you can typically avoid a conviction. So. But if you are convicted, is this a felony? Is a DUI a felony? So typically speaking, and there are different circumstances. A first DWI is typically charged as a Class B misdemeanor. A second DWI will be charged a Class A misdemeanor, and a third one is a felony. I had a client recently that he pled guilty to a DWI in '88, a second one in 1991. He was charged with one in 2019, and that's a felony. So, I mean, it doesn't
matter how much time.
Technically speaking, no. I mean, that's up to the prosecutor, I would think, but I haven't seen a whole lot of leniency there from their end.
As part of the SIS or SES, do people have to go to rehab or get addiction counseling?
For a DWI?
Yep.
So a typical offer for first-time DWI would be SATOP, required substance abuse traffic offender program. SATOP's a two-part thing. The first part is an assessment. They're going to talk to you about, they're going to seem like your best friend. They're going to talk to you about when you start using drugs, when you start drinking, how much do you drink? And then they're going to go off that and maybe your blood alcohol content. After that, you do a class. It's going to be required usually for both your license and the courts to do the probation. Depending on how that goes, SATOP will compel you to enter a class, and there's levels to it. So if I got pulled over 0.2 and I'm falling all over the place and I'm vomiting in the cop car, they're not going to have me do the lowest level of SATOP where I come and go a couple of times. It's going to be way more intense than that. And that is required